Networking is what's going to help you find career resources and opportunities. While other candidates are busy submitting online job applications, you can be delivering your value proposition to hiring managers that lead to job offers. DoActify programs have helped clients generate a lot of career activity so they find jobs within 2.5 months. We help project managers, product managers, scientists, and technical executives find a new job faster and advance to leadership positions through strategic networking that builds a robust referral network. After watching this webinar and viewing the email tutorials to follow, be ready to take some new steps to build your career referral network. Hi, my name is Penny Pearl, founder of DoActify, and I'm so glad you came to join me in this webinar about how to have conversations with new connections and land job referrals. I run into this all the time, people's fear of having conversations to build their network and to engage with people so that they can get job referrals. So I thought I'd have a webinar about it. I meet a lot of people. I'm always building my network, making introductions. I work with clients also and teach them how to do that. But I'm also a certified career coach. And this process of networking, it is something where you can take it in steps and actually get to the point where you enjoy it. Evelyn Fassett, who's in the picture next to me, is our technical director. She does the development of the website and also some of the tools. So I wanted to introduce you to her and myself as well. My email address is on the slide, penny@doactify.com, our website, doactify.com, and I would definitely appreciate it if you would connect with me on LinkedIn under Penny Pearl. Do you remember some times when you stepped out of your comfort zone? Because that's the biggest challenge people have with regard to networking. They feel uncomfortable. And we're going to talk about some things to help mitigate that. But all your life, you've been doing things that are out of your comfort zone. And what is it about when we get to be adults and we're talking with other adults, it becomes really challenging. So just remember that you've been doing it all your life, and that's how we grow and learn, is to be challenged. Let's try to have a mindset of stepping out of our comfort zone, and eventually those new things do become comfortable, even with networking. I wanted to point out some statistics to you. On average, there are about 250 job applicants for an open position, and only 6 get the call for an interview. One of the benefits of networking is to get referred to a position, sometimes even before it gets posted. I've had clients where positions have been created for them, and that's because they were really in touch with their value proposition, which is part of the training that we do. One of my clients, she's a biomedical scientist. This thank you letter came from her to Actify. She went through the process of redoing her CV and her profile. And during that process, she really got in touch with her value proposition and learned how to network, reach out to the people that she knew. She also was able to project that in her conversations and her interviews, and as a result, got referred to a position, and that position was actually created for her. It just shows you how some of these skills that you can develop can really result in some great career activity. Both active and passive job seekers, the really good ones, always have multiple opportunities. And I just wanted to point that out to you because networking provides you with options, career opportunity options, and multiple opportunities. Another client of ours, who is now a Googler, which was her dream job, she was an expert at reconnecting with her network and getting referred to positions she was interested in, and had her network help her secure the position. So her comment was, leveraging my current network and applying a relationship building strategy, because that's really what it's all about, generated amazing activity. She got her dream job. This is what you're going to learn today. First, you're going to learn how to lose the anxieties of talking with professionals you've never met before. You're going to learn strategies that will prepare you so that you can create job referrals with the people that you meet. You're going to reconnect with professionals in your network and learn how to stay in touch. And you're going to learn how to grow your referrals, because that's really what it's all about, generating that activity and having the mindset to meet people and to have conversations. You'll be receiving emails on how to build a robust network, how to set your routine to develop your referral network, how to prepare for conversations with new connections, and what are some of the questions that you want to ask that are open-ended to engage in conversations. Well, we've got that as a tool also. What are the different things that you can do to follow up and stand out with your new connections, because you want them to want to help you and feel like you're a great candidate to be referred to their company. The first thing that you need to do in order to get the mindset is you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone, because once you step out just a little bit, you'll see that really meeting other people and talking with them, if you're prepared and go in with a certain mindset, that it's not so uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, I've had clients who really pushed back on it initially, and after they did it a few times, they came back and said, you know, that was actually kind of fun. So isn't that a great result to look forward to? The second is a commitment to manage your professional relationships. So it's not like you just meet somebody and then drop that relationship. You stay in touch. And that needs to be a commitment. You don't only want to go back to people when you need something, because a relationship, number one, takes a long time to develop. And secondly, you know, you're mutual resources for one another. So if you keep up with that relationship, then you're going to be able to count on that individual to help you when you get to the point where you need a resource or you're going through a job search. And I'm sure you would do the same for them. Once you make these relationships, it's important to stay in touch. The third area is to become interested and curious in the people you reach out to. If you go in with the mindset that I'm going to call them up and see if they have any open positions in their company, and if they do, to give my resume to the recruiter or to the hiring manager, well, no wonder you're uncomfortable, because it's a one-way, and you need to think about the relationship being two-way. So we're not talking about a long time really to develop this initial relationship, but if you do it with care and thoughtfulness, then it will benefit both parties. You need to have that mindset before you go in and reach out to these individuals that you want to meet. You have to have the mindset that you're going to be interested in them and curious about them. It's a mutual relationship going forward. Curiosity is really important, and that's what's going to help you develop your list of open-ended questions to find out more about this individual and start developing your relationship. You're going to be very prepared for your conversation. You're going to study their profile. You're going to look to see where else they show up online, maybe on the company website. They have a profile as well. And you're going to see what things that you have in common. And you're going to go in as an equal, because you can also be a resource for them. In fact, you should go in expecting to be a resource for them. You have skills that they may not have, or some skills they may only dream of having. So they're going to be curious about you if you show curiosity in them. So you want to prepare for each conversation. You want to research the individuals that you're going to be reaching out to by looking at their profile. Where'd they go to school? What jobs did they have? What roles did they play? What were their accomplishments? What do they see themselves, or what value do they see in the skill set that they have? Maybe you share the same alma mater. Maybe they're working for a company you used to work for, or you're interested in it. You can go to their company website and see if they have a profile there and learn about them, what their company does, and also go to their company page on LinkedIn as well. You also want to think about a couple of icebreakers. Just by looking at their profile and what's in common, you can start the conversation with something to kind of break the ice and start the conversation going. So it's not an interrogative relationship, it's very conversational. And sometimes it can be this most simple things. A lot of times when I'm reaching out and talking with people that could be new prospects for career coaching, I study their profile before we get on the phone. And that's the first thing I tell them. I just got through studying your profile and it was great to learn more about you. Boy, that really opens up the conversation. Another area that you can prepare with is to think about who can you introduce this person to based on what you see in their profile. Think about that, because before the conversation ends, you can say, I know somebody that's doing something similar to what you're doing. Would you like me to introduce you on LinkedIn? And most likely they'll say yes. So you're offering something. And what else can you offer? Maybe it's an article or something that you saw that you'd like to share with them. There are many different ways that you can offer something to an individual. And just thinking about it beforehand will make you more comfortable in addressing that as you go forward in the conversation. Don't forget that they said yes to the conversation. So you're already halfway there, right? Now it's just a matter of making it really beneficial for both of you so that you can both be resources for each other. It's really important for you to ask for referrals. Now, a lot of people forget to do that, but before you end that call, what you could say is, who else do you recommend I speak with? So-and-so has a position available. They're looking to speak with somebody of your talent. Why don't you send me your resume and I'll see if I can connect you. You don't even have to ask that. If you do well during that conversation, that's something that could definitely come up. Another response that they might have is, I can't think of anybody right now. Let me think about it and I'll get back to you. Okay, so that's fine, because they may not have been prepared for that. Or they might say, a colleague of mine is working for a company that's growing and maybe, he'll know somebody that you can communicate with. If you don't ask that question, you're not going to get other referrals. So make that part of your conversation with that individual, because remember, you're also offering them as well. The other thing that you want to do is you want to schedule your networking time, because if you don't schedule it, it's not gonna get done. You can maybe take a half hour that you can have some peace and quiet, put the timer on your phone, think about the goals that you want to accomplish during that time. Maybe you want to do 10 connection invites during that time. And that's your goal. You're going to look it up, put in some keywords on LinkedIn, and then you're going to use that to reach out to individuals that you'd like to connect with, and then maybe later follow up with a conversation. Now, messaging is a whole other thing, and that's something that we help with, but it's important to have a compelling message so that somebody wants to connect with you and somebody is interested in having a conversation with you. And you need to schedule your time to make those things happen. And each time you do it, you get better and better. If it's going to be a half hour, set your phone and get those goals done. Don't go into other areas, reading notifications or posts, because that's distracting. But your objective is to grow your network. Then you want to track your activity, and you can do that with either an Excel spreadsheet you create for yourself, or a Google Sheet. We're going to be coming out with one that we're going to make available as well. But it's good to be able to look at all the people that you've been reaching out to for connections and track them and see who's connected with you, and then who you're going to reach out to for a request to have a conversation through an introduction. Tracking is going to be really important. We recommend that you try to reach out to 10 individuals a day. That's 50 a week. Just a little tip, a lot of times professionals are on their LinkedIn profile and checking their messages and getting ready for the week, Sunday late afternoon to evening. So that's really a good time. Sometimes you can actually connect with somebody and request an introduction, on a Sunday evening. Finally, following up and staying in touch. Really, really important to do that. After you have a conversation, thank them. Maybe you can find an article you can send to them. And no matter when you have a conversation with somebody that you already know or somebody that's new as a connection, it's so important to keep reaching out to them occasionally through a message, through posts, writing articles. There are various ways to stay in touch and have your name associated with your area of expertise. When you're reaching out to new connections, you're just learning about them and them learning about you. But when you're reaching out to individuals that you already know, which is always a really good first step if they're in your line of work and you're starting your career search, you can get a little practice in having a conversation with them and just catching up, finding out, what are they doing now? You looked at their profile. Let's catch up because you're doing something different and I'm doing something different. Let's have an introduction, a reintroduction rather. When you go in to network, it's so important for you to be a resource and make introductions to individuals. You want to stay engaged with them, and you always want to ask for referrals. Bottom line of all this is one of the reasons why it's difficult to reach out and have conversations with people you don't know is because the mindset that prevents you from feeling comfortable is, I want to call this individual, see if they'll pass my resume to the recruiting community or the hiring manager. And that makes it really uncomfortable. If you can change that mindset and address these 4 areas and be prepared, then the introduction that you have or the reconnection with somebody you already know takes on a completely different personality and actually can be fun. If you could save 2 months in a job search, well, I have that number, $16,000. That's about $8,000 a month. That is the difference. When you're networking and you're reaching out to people to develop relationships, you'll find a job generally a lot more quickly than when you're just applying online. I already gave you those numbers. You'll also be generating a lot of career activity because people would like to refer others that they feel that would be an asset to their company. And referrals is really important. If you have 80% of the qualifications and the other candidate that you're competing against, that it's just between you and that other individual, they're 80%, then the person that can be validated through a referral is most likely going to be the one that gets the job. Hiring managers love when they get a referral because they're a lot of times having difficulty finding really good candidates. Most of our clients find a new position with multiple offers, or they have to cancel interviews because they got a really great offer. But they usually find that within 2.5 months. And it's because there's some accountability there. They have a program to get them to where they need to be, such as developing their profile, so that it has the keywords and expresses their value. And guess what? They had to think about those words, but with our program, we work together so that they understand how to express a value proposition in their profile. The second thing is they learn how to reach out for a connection so that they get a yes, and then follow up with a message so they get a yes, so they can have that introduction. And they do this in enough numbers so that they get practice, they get really good about it, and they learn how to ask for referrals. Well, although it sounds like it might be something that would take longer than applying online, it actually is a lot shorter. I had a client who was a VP of marketing who worked for some very recognizable companies, 6 months, and he didn't find anybody interested in talking with him for an interview. He made a list of 10 people that he reconnected with, people that were in his network. He found his new position within 6 weeks. And he said to me, I actually had some fun doing it. A lot has to do with your mindset. When you're networking, it enhances your confidence because you're practicing your conversations, and you'll do so much better in an interview. You're talking about how you can solve a problem that company has because you've done it before and you've had a great accomplishment that's going to add value to this position. The process includes building a robust profile, understanding and communicating what your value proposition is, being able to create messages, reaching out, standing out as a candidate, and how to do that. There's a program offered in a collaborative group setting, and that is called the Mastermind Networking Academies. We hope that this is something that you might consider as a way for you to ease into networking, also learn the skills and collaborate with some of the people in this small group. There's only going to be 10 people in each group. You'll have a coach. There are multiple sessions each month, 2 sessions a month where we all get together as a group. There are tools and information that are sent to you as you do your work. And we're going to have weekly Facebook Live groups so that you're going to get your questions answered. But most importantly, you're going to be able to control your career destiny, which you cannot in the black hole of applying online. You're going to be able to grow your referral network and develop networking skills that you will use for the rest of your career. And those are going to lead to interviews, and you'll start really doing well in your interviews because you've already practiced your conversations and your value proposition. Those interviews will lead to offers. Now, you don't have to wait a long time to get value. Each group is a 3-month program, but you can start right away. Okay, so you're going to learn your value proposition. You're going to have an online profile that's magnetic. It draws people to you, and you're going to learn who your audience is and how to reach out to them so that they want to have an introduction. You're going to learn how to write messages, and we have templates, messages that lead to meetings, which is the beginning of your conversations with new connections, and also in your reconnection with people that you already know. So you can build your job referral network and perform better in interviews because you will have practiced. That's what's going to lead to offers. That's what generates a lot of the career activity. How thrilling it is that a client says, I've accepted a position, or I plan on accepting this position, and I have to cancel 3 more interviews. Okay, so wouldn't it be great to be in a position like that and learn the actual step-by-step process to make that happen? And quite frankly, that is my why. When I see clients who do the work, they find success and their life changes. But most important, career searching to them has also transformed. It doesn't have to be drudgery where they lose confidence. they actually learn a lot about themselves and stretch themselves so that they can reach their goals. And these are skills they're going to use not only the next time they're looking for a job and they're staying in touch with their network, but they're going to use them on the job and have opportunities to advance to leadership positions, because they're going to be the ones that know how to go out and get the resources. This is some of the statistics about the Academy. It's a 3-month program. You make 3 payments of $299, one every month, 10 people, January 14th. We're going to be adding more groups, but it's extremely reasonable. When you consider those 2 months of job searching that you can save at $16,000, then $299 for 3 months, which comes out to $997, is peanuts. It's a very small investment to make for yourself, and you will reap a lot of new skills that you'll be demonstrating to potential employers. This is how you get to the Academy, to actify.com/academy. And I would encourage you to sign up now. There's only going to be 10 spots in each 3-month session. And if you have any questions, just go to info@toactify.com. You will also see the process, how it works, the tools that you're going to be provided with. For example, how to prepare for an introduction to new connections. So it's not only what we learn in the session, it's going to be Q&A during the live Facebook time that we have together. And also we have tools that will give you a step-by-step process on how to do this, and you will get more comfortable as long as you practice it. And when you have those challenges, when you practice it, then we have the group to collaborate with to see how you can overcome them. Make the investment in yourself. Thank you so much for joining me on this webinar. Please connect with me, and I will look forward to helping you with feeling more comfortable in networking to find a job. Bye for now.